problem set for lesson 12 is we'll work A together, then you're going to try B on your own. We'll work C together, then you're going to try D on your own. So you've got to really pay attention. You're learning a new concept today, right along with practicing what you already know, okay? So the first thing, you'll need 4 sets of equal signs. So you just have to draw 3. What should I subtract in my head before I start? 3 minus 2 equals?
1 plus.
Okay, don't write 1 plus yet. Just one step at a time here.
Okay.
Now I need to look at the fractions. Is the second one larger?
Yes. No.
So I've got to decompose, and I want everyone to write it today. Decompose 1 and 1/5. Write it where I did. Okay, so this will be, how will I make 1 whole? 5/5. Okay, so 5/5 plus 1/5 equals 6/5.
How did you get 5/5 from that?
I added these two together.
How'd you get
Oh, 5/5 because 1 whole. And we chose the 5 because that's the denominator we already have.
Wait, so 5 is 1 whole.
5/5 is 1 whole. You know that. Any number on top of itself is 1 whole. You learned that, what do you think, 3rd grade?
Okay.
So 6/5 minus 1/4. Common denominator. So 5 times what, boys and girls? And 4 times? You agree?
Yes.
Okay. So start to finish, I want you to do B by yourself. Here's what you think in your head. What can I subtract before I write it down? Okay. Do I need to decompose my mixed number? That sort of thing. Okay, check your answer with mine. C is harder. These were pretty simple, weren't they?
Yes.
We just exchanged the 1 for a fraction and made it an improper fraction. C is a little different. So what do you notice about C when you get started here?
Whenever you subtract 7 minus 4, it would equal 3 instead of just 1.
Okay, so our whole number left over after we subtract is a 3 this time instead of just 1. So we've got a little strategy for it, and it's kind of like what we just did. So make sure you copied it down correctly. Then instead of writing 1 and 1/5, just write 3 and 1/5 over here. And we're going to decompose it into 3 parts. So if I borrow 1 from the 3, because wasn't I just exchanging the 1 for a fraction?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, don't write this, just watch. So if I borrow 1 from the 3, what do I have left?
2.
Okay, so now don't write this. Do not write it. So I've got 2 plus 1 plus 1/5. Does that still equal 3 and 1/5? Okay. Now I'm going to change that 1 to a fraction.
5/5.
5/5. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to add these two up again like I have been doing, but I have to put a whole number all the way down. So that's the only difference. Now, I've got 5/5 plus 1/5. What's that? 6/5. And what am I subtracting?
1/3. 1/3.
So how are you doing?
Good. Wait.
Okay, so get that much done and then you know how to finish it. Okay? You will have one similar to this on your exit ticket, but we'll get to that in a little bit, okay? Okay, let's practice together again on D, and then you can try F on your own here in a minute, okay? All right, so we're going to practice the same concept again, where you have to decompose the mixed number into 3 parts. Okay, so 7 minus 5.
2.
Okay. So 2 and 2/5 minus 2/3. So if I decompose 2 and 2/5, going to borrow 1 from the 2. How many does that leave?
7.
It leaves 1. Okay. I'm writing my 2/5, and I need 1 whole in there.
5/5.
I think we've had 5/5 every time, haven't we? And it really helps to put those plus signs in because that's actually what we need to do, isn't it? Okay, so I'm going to add 5/5 plus 2/5. What does that give me?
7/5.
So 1 plus 7/5 minus 2/3. So F from start to finish by yourself. Okay, I'm going to pause it while you work. Then we'll check it together. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and start writing it down. And you just check yours with mine as I go along. You guys are doing very well. So if you forgot to put the 6 all the way down, you're not alone. That happened to a lot of kids today. Okay? There's regrouping on this subtraction problem, so I had some kids mess that up. Yeah. Okay, sorry. 6 and 17, 21st. Here's my answer. Okay? How you doing? We're going to do one more and then you can do your exit ticket. All right? So on this next one, we're going to put a star beside it. We're going to do G, I think. Let's see. Yeah, G.
So are we gonna do another one?
Oh, you found the papers?
Yeah.
Thank you. Carson's gone. All right, let's take a look at this one. So I have a choice to make here in a minute. Let's get it written down first. 17 minus 5. 12. So 12 and 2/3 minus 5/6. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
So Alex, tell me what to do now.
You have to you have to put the 12 and 2/3 and
Break it into how many parts?
you put 11 and you put 3/3 and plus 2/3 equals 5/3.
Okay, so let us get caught up with you here.
Plus 2?
Okay, yeah, you guys write it
I
down.
thought it would be plus 5, 6.
No, in a minute, okay? So now we've got, all we're doing is getting the very first fraction. So I need 11 all the way down. Because that's what I have left over when I borrowed 1 from the 12. 3/3 plus 2/3 is what?
Is 5/3.
5/3. So get this much written down. 5/3 minus 5/6. There's 2 ways to do it.
Isn't it going to be
Just a minute. You're right, McKenna. But let me get this copied down so I don't lose my train of thought here. Okay, so there's 2 ways to do this problem. That's the choice we need to make. McKenna, LCM is a choice. Gracie's going to pick LCM because she doesn't want to simplify. Hunter Burroughs, he won't pick LCM. He'll do 18 and then simplify it because he would rather simplify than do LCM. It confuses him, okay? So it's your choice. I'm going to do it both ways. You check your way with mine, or if you need something else to do it both ways, okay? I'm going to start with just using 18.
You gotta put 11 plus. I forgot.
Thank you.
On the LCM, I think there's 3.
There's more than one, but least means least. So pick the smallest one.
Wait,
Can you get the door?
I have one question about simplifying.
Okay, just a minute.
How did
Let me get back to that in a minute.
the 3, 6, 6.
I'll get the same.
Okay, so there's 2 ways to do the same problem. The reason I chose 3 to divide this by, this is the simplifying, Ava, right here. Okay? So the reason I chose 3 is because I knew 2 wouldn't work. So in my head I went right down to 3. If 3 doesn't work, then I was going to try the numerator. Does that make sense? Remember our simplifying fractions poster? I know it's not half. So then I tried 2. Can I divide by 2?
No.
And then I went, oh, let me try 3 real quick. So 3 worked, so I just stopped there. If 3 wouldn't have worked, I would have went down to, can you divide by the numerator, or greatest common factor, okay? All those words make Gracie want to cry, correct? So she's going to do LCM every single time she can, least common multiple. It's your choice. Okay, let's take a look at the exit ticket.
How'd you know which is LCM?
Okay, just a minute. That's a good question.
I know that's
I looked at the 3 and 6, and I immediately saw that 3 would divide into 6.
Oh.
Okay, so that's how I knew that I could do LCM. Let's look at your exit ticket because one of those on there you can do LCM on. Let's see if you can find it. Don't shout it out when you figure it out. Just
It's 12 to 8.
so is it 1 or 2 that you can do LCM on?
2.
2. You can use 24 or you can do LCM. So let's look at number 1 first. I'm going to get you started on it, get you started on 2, and then you can get to work. Okay? All right. So on this one, they're trying to trick you.
Because 1/2. Oh.
Go ahead, Gavin.
1/2 is smaller than 1/3.
1/2 is actually larger.
Oh.
So I didn't have to decompose my mixed number.
Yay.
All right? So in this case, I'm going to rewrite it as 4.5 minus 1/3. They're trying to trick you. This is less than 11. 1/2 is larger, isn't it? So I just get to write 4 plus all the way down.
Yay.
Okay? You can do the rest of that yourself later. Okay? I'm going to rewrite number 2 over here just so you guys can see it better. All right? You don't have to rewrite number 2 because you have enough room. Now put your pencils down. So number 2 is 8 3/4 minus 5 5/6. Okay, so 8 minus 5 is,
3.
so 3 3/4 minus
5,
5/6. Okay, so yes, I have to decompose 3 3/4 because 3/4 is less than
5, 6.
5/6. So you can go ahead and write that down. Okay, that'll remind you what you're doing. So if I borrow 1 from the 3, what do I have?
2.
2. Okay, what do I write here next, Jasmine? 2 plus 4/4 plus 3/4. Okay, so on this one,
2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2.
very good. You'll have to get your 2 on there before you start working the problem. Now, the decision we have to make, 4 and 6. You can use 24, 4 times 6, but you'll probably have to simplify. Or you can do LCM and you won't have to simplify. Okay? It's your choice. Count by 6s, count by 4s, find the smallest number, and then you won't have to simplify. Okay? All right.